Good morning, everybody. It is January 11th at 8:25 a.m. Um, Market's gapping up right now. Let's look at some watch list stuff. Crude is up 1.3%. What do we got? The VIX is up slightly. Russell's up 0.41%. ES up 0.36%. NQ up 0.34%. And what else we got? The dollar is barely up. Bitcoin's down slightly. The 10-year yield is down. All right. That's what we got going there. Then just some leaders and laggards. So we've got Tesla's up 2.29%. I just saw it's expanding its factory in Texas and looking to expand the factory in Indonesia. Um, Boeing's up. Amazon's up 1%. AMD's up 1%. I got laggard is coin. Coin's down 2.41%. Leaders over here, the top sector stocks. You got Roblox up 1.37%. And a laggard would be Salesforce is down 2.41%. So let's see here. And the sector's leaders is discretionary. No surprise there. That's Tesla. That's Amazon. And we got energy. No laggard to speak of. All right. So let's get right into the daily chart. Now, if you notice on here, I've added certain things that I always look at, but that I don't always put on the charts, but I just wanted to put them up. Uh, this purple dots is the anchored VWAP from the highs of all-time highs in our market. Um, the yellow is the anchored VWAP from the lows from October. I just thought it's very interesting to look at this because it's non-disputable, right? Anchored VWAP is the average weighted price with volume and price. So basically, if you bought anybody who bought these lows, they're finally making money. An average price, they got a decent price right now. Okay, and whoever sold from the highs, average weighted price, you can see has acted resistance right here, once, twice, right? So if I zoom in a little bit, very interesting, right? So this average weighted price from the highs, all-time highs, acted as resistance again. I wish I would have had this on my chart back then, right? Literally right here, this bar went right into that price. And then if you notice from the lows, it it was support, acted as support again. Then check that out, resistance on this balance. Look, resistance, 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 and then it got broke 2 days ago. And then what do you know? It acted as support yesterday with the what is this on this chart? The 20-day super moving average and the 8 EMA. On this chart, I have the 8 EMA. So look at that confluence. Pretty interesting, right? Just thought I'd put that out there. Um, Again, yesterday was kind of like a little bit of a wacky day. Um, we wound up resolving. Um, really didn't do much, right? Because the day before we went up, we kind of just settled in that range. Okay, kind of closed at the 50-day moving average. Um, so it's pretty interesting, right? Um, Now the cues with the anchored VWAP, the only one I'd really pay attention to is the bottom one. It's from the lows because they both have the same lows. So if you look at the NQ, check this out. I mean the cues. So on October 13th, the low was put in. Now check this out. It's pretty cool. This has acted as resistance once, twice. It literally hit the average weighted price from the lows once, twice. So the Qs are still underwater. No surprise, they're just weaker. But I'm definitely going to keep these on my charts Definitely going to keep these on my charts just because it's just another layer of confluence and it's indisputable. It's not like a moving average. This is the average weighted price. So the volume weighted average price. So it's indisputable. If you're under it, that's who's in control. The sellers. If you're above it, the buyers are in control. Okay, so purples are from the all-time highs, yellows are from our lows, the recent lows. Okay, so underwater in the Qs, just got above water in the SPY. So the market today, and I'm going to go back to my regular settings here. So the market today, right? You got a bunch of moving averages here. It's just a web, right? So what do we do today? I don't know how much we do today, just because tomorrow's CPI. It's going to be, you know, very important news. So today could balance, but right now we're gapping up. So um, let's see what the Qs did. Yeah, see the Qs still in this range, top of the range here, bouncing off the 9, the daily 9 EMA here. But this news is so big tomorrow. I think most people are expecting it to be softer as expected. So we could get a move back up into here in the Qs 280, right? Have to see. Let's go to that triple headed monster. All right, TNX was rising. Now it's falling. Now it's holding this support. Okay. Remember, today is not a day you're going to read too much into because such a big news catalyst. Tomorrow, the VIX, took a little tumble. But again, big day tomorrow. But you can see we're just in the low 20s. So, and that dollar, right? Still on these lows. Okay. Still on these lows. So, let's go into the charts. All right. Let's go into those charts. Let's go into the market profile. Okay. All right. So one thing that happened yesterday that is the note of importance, okay, is we moved the most traded price of the week higher to here. 39.1850 now is the most traded price of the week. Okay. Look at the profile now. Right? It's kind of got a bullish imbalance to it, which means that it's top heavy, which just means we're building value at the top. Now, big news catalyst tomorrow. So we all know if it comes in lower as expected, we're going higher. If it comes in hotter than expected, we're going lower. So this can blow this technical analysis out of the door. But for today, we could, technically move a little higher. I don't know though, just because people are probably going to be cautious about for tomorrow's news. So let's look at what we have here today. We're at 39.52. We're gapping higher. We got yesterday's high here, yesterday's low here. We came into a demand zone, bounced out of it. Okay. Now we're gapping higher, but however, this profile is very balanced. Okay, yes, we're gapping higher. So the question always is do we fill the gap? Do we gap and go? Do we go back into range? And that all tells you something. If you fill the gap and push higher, then hey, bulls are in control. If we fill the gap and start going back into range, we could come back to this 5-day and balance off for tomorrow. All right. This is not easy to. It's not as easy to read because you have supply zone up here. Okay. So for me, really anything, you have to look up here and see what it does. Okay. Because if we go higher and we're not moving any significant volume, we're probably going to revisit these levels. Just have to see how the market goes. The market's so nuts lately, so you really have to see. Okay, let's look at the Nasdaq. Okay, the Nasdaq also moved the most traded price of the week higher. Okay, that is 112 or 11,200. That's short-term bullish. Okay, now the Nasdaq actually has a more of a bullish imbalance profile. So if you look at the profile here of the week, which is the blue, we got excess, we got our volume here, right? Hence the most traded price of the week, and then we have kind of a poorish top here, a poor high. Okay, so typically you'd want to see this to make a completed profile. So in the short term, could we possibly hit this 50-day moving average today? You got two supply zones up here. Doesn't mean you can't reach it for today, right? Have to see though. Have to see. That is like I said, this analysis would be for today because tomorrow blows everything out of the water at 8:30. So it's just what I'm observing. So we have price here, little gap at 113.03. We have the high of the overnight, the low of the overnight, the high of yesterday, the low of yesterday. We have a very it's pretty much a balanced profile overnight. So we stay above here. You stay above the most traded price, then that's bullish. Okay. And the macro theme, right? If we stay above here for today, right? So we could do something like this. And as long as we hold this, hold it, hold it, hold it, we could possibly go higher. Not sure, right? Very balanced. The market opened here and we went up here and here. So that doesn't give you a lot of information to say what's going to happen. Okay, so I'm looking at in both, there's overhead supply in both indexes above us. Okay, and then you have the most traded prices of the week has moved higher. So that's kind of like what I would say is what I'm going to lean into based on the market strength or weakness. Okay, that's what I'm going to want to lean into. Okay, if we come up here and the market isn't that strong and it struggles, you're probably going to want to short it back here. Now, if the market quickly comes back here and it's not that weak, it's not really that weak, right? And it starts to show strength, then you're probably going to want to go long. So that's what I'm looking at. Now, again, this market is crazy. This is like a crazy hard market. I mean, there's just up to the highs, down to the lows. Like it is really crazy. I mean, I'm only been trading 4+ years, 4.5+ years, and this is something else. This is just something else. Probably a lot to do with these zero DTEs on the SPY now and the SPX, and market makers having to constantly sell and buy futures to become neutral positions. So it's pretty crazy. All right. So I also just tried an anchor VWAP too on the ES. Maybe I can show you here. And this is the same levels, this yellow from the lows. You can see that we bounced right off that VWAP just to show you in the futures. Okay. And from the highs, You can see it acted as resistance twice. So they're coming together. They're coming together. So sellers are in control from the highs, and finally the buyers just took control from the lows. Interesting. You have to see, right? All right, let's go to the hourly chart. All right, I'm bringing to that. I mean, there's a specific pattern that I think everybody will agree that it's important now. I don't do a lot of wedges and stuff like that, but this particular pattern is you can't deny it. All right. So we let's look at this. Let's look at this pattern. So generally, I like to have three touches on a trend line or like a channel or wedge or something, right? Now, if you look at this pattern right here, this is on an hourly chart. So you have a rising wedge, right? And you have momentum slowing down a little bit. Okay, it's contracting. So look at this top of the wedge, right? You have resistance, 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 and check this out. Resistance again, right? So you have this rising wedge, right? Now, if we come up here and we keep up here, this trend line going up with the wedge is also, look at this, from this low. You have one touch, two touch, three touch, four touch, five touch, six touch, seven touch, eight touches. Okay? So today, right? If we come up into the supply zone, right, and we break out of this, that could be some confirmation, right, to just take it short. Now, again, that means that the market is a little showing not a lot of strength, right? We're probably going to come back down a little bit. Now, also, which is interesting, is this is where technical analysis, I don't know. Let's just say this, okay? Let's just say today the market is pretty strong. Let's say we get out of this supply zone and we come into this supply zone. But check this out for confluence. This is the most traded price of a year ago, from the last year. Okay, 39999. Okay. Now, so you have the most traded price of the last year. We have a nice supply zone in here. Okay. Now check that out. This is where in here, right here, you have the top of this wedge. Now today, I'm saying if you were able to go up here, that would also be a nice possible short. Okay. People will probably take profits there. Because right now, I'm not sure how much long I want to get today, but if it's in the cards, it's in the cards. Okay. Now the important thing is this most traded price of the week has moved higher. It has moved higher. So, like I said, we want to stay above this. Like I said, if we just have some liquidation break, come back here, and we hold, we could creep up into here. Okay, that's the long play. Okay. So that's again, guys, this is what I'm looking at, girls. Supply zone up here, key resistance, 39.70. Okay. This is just the overnight lows here, 39.35. Okay. So we have to see. We have to see. So let's look at the Nasdaq. And the Nasdaq also has this wedge as well. And you can see it. Another one. Look at that. It's just riding that. Pretty crazy, right? Riding it. Making lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, right? And then look at this on the top, right? You got one touch, two touch, three touch, four touch, five touch. Look at this touch right there. I wish I would have had this drawn because that would have gave me more confluence because that one day I wanted to short here, but the market was strong. That might have gave me a little more confluence to take that short, and that would have been a nice move. But hindsight's 2020, right? So, like I said, we have this 113.81 resistance that has not been broken yet. So this supply zone goes all the way back here. It has not been violated yet, and it hasn't really got deep into the zone. You can see that 1381, 113.81 has been very resistant, right? So today, I really, I really want to see if we come in here what the market does, and if the market's super strong, I'm not gonna fight that. But if the market makes a move and has a hard time, and you can see it, oh, okay, people are going to start taking profit, and we could possibly just go back down. Okay, and then wait for CPI, and you can see the most traded price of the week is here, so it's moved higher. So we really have to see. You have support here, 112.44. Okay, so that's really what I'm looking at today. So let's just go to the market profile. We'll wrap it up. And crude, Jesus, crude's breaking out. Unbelievable. Just show you crude for a second. This is yesterday. I thought about a straddle again. And now crude breaking a supply zone. Coming over this key resistance, 75.87. So now it's into this supply, into the 50-day moving average. Man, crude is now up $1.43 a barrel. Now this could be the double top. I don't know. I'm interested. This is now over the most traded price of the week, the month. Is this the breakout, right? Because this happened again. This happened before. So I gotta watch that. I now I'm a little bit like because I could have had a nice trade there, but that's okay. Can't win them all. All right, let's go into market profile. Let's expand this to what I was saying earlier. So I mean, here's really the playground today. It's very easy. Okay. So, like I said, we're gapping higher, right? First thing, do we fill the gap? Do we not fill the gap, right? And it's all about the strength underneath the hood when the market opens. Okay? That's what it's about. Strength under the hood is what I look at. Because not all moves are equal, right? If the market just moves, melts up, right, and it's not super strong, like people are going to take profit and stuff like that, and we have big news coming tomorrow. So here's what I want. Here's my plan. Okay, I just showed you some of my plan, but we can see a little more granular detail here. So if the market opens, fills the gap, we start to move higher, right? Now we move higher, but into this supply zone. Okay, and there's a naked VPOC up here from that move higher. If we start to get weak and start to do lower highs and the market isn't super strong, that's probably a nice trade back to developing VPOC. Okay, it's probably a nice trade back waiting for tomorrow. Okay, now the farthest move I could see this, because I could see this coming back to yesterday's highs and then down to the overnight lows, and then ultimately you can get a move down to here, the much trader price of the week. So that's like a, what is that, a 52-point move if you can catch that, right? That's a pretty nice move. And then what do? We balance off for CPI. Okay. Now, bullish wise, what would I be looking at? Because now the most traded price of the week is here, 39.18. Okay. So that could be something like this. That could be like, okay, we move up, we come back, right? We fill the gap, we try to move higher, we come back. Now I'm talking about just like this market has been nuts, we make an impulsive move down, right? So it's quick. And we catch traction here. Start support, 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 right? And the market isn't that weak. It's not like, whoa, this is crazy weak. It's not, right? Let's see it gets its footing and we do this. Higher low. That's probably a long. Okay? That's probably a long. And you're probably gonna want to target the 50-day moving average right here. I don't say we go rocket, but that, possibility again here, you could possibly go into this area, the supply zone, and take profit there. And then always door three is whatever happens here. We can move up, come back down and balance. We can move down and balance here. You know, it could be a very bouncy day. You get early moves and then it dies waiting for tomorrow because there's not even really much news today. Okay? Now, same thing I'm going to say in the Nasdaq. The same thing, okay? The same thing. We're gapping higher. Look, we're moving higher. We're moving now into this zone where I want to look and be interested in a trade. Okay? I want that market to come to me, to my area, right? So, same thing. Nasdaq's gapping up higher now. So, like I said, if we push really quickly into here and we hold it, yeah, can we move higher? We can, but if we get some weakness, that could make a nice, a nice short. And I said ultimate goal could be back to the most traded price of the week, 112. Okay. I'm going to show you the same stuff. Same thing over here. If we fill this gap right here quickly, can't move, but like I said, quick moves, right? Because this market's quick. Quick moves don't mean strength, like real weakness. It could just mean a quick move down. Longs get liquidated, and then we hold here again. Hold, do a higher low. You possibly can move up to here, right? And then finally we get some balance, right? However we do it, we can come up here, balance up here, come down here, balance here, come down here, move up, balance. It's just balance. Moves will happen and then we'll die. Nothing of significance will happen, but I'm not sure, right? I showed you guys what I'm interested in. So I'm interested in this area for a short, this area for a long. Market has to give me the right context. This area for a short, this area for a long. Okay. Now, we could come up here and show strength and show strength. I'm not as crazy about a long up here, but I'd have to see, right? That's just the way I'm gonna play the market. All right. So that's what my plan is for today. Hope everybody got something from that content. I'm gonna probably keep those anchored VWAPs up on my charts. They're indisputable. They're not a moving average. That's just time, right? This is actually based on volume, buying and selling. So it's indisputable, the VWAP. So I'm gonna keep looking at those for confluence and that rising wedge too, like I showed you guys. So give me a comment, like, or subscribe. Ask me any questions if you have any. Hope everybody stays green today, and big news tomorrow. All right, big news. So all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.